بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد، النهاردة بإذن الله لطلبة وطالبات الصف الأول الثانوي إن شاء الله بإذن الله هنشرح Unit 11 Lesson 1. زي ما انتم شايفين يا شباب وبنات، Unit 11 Lesson 1 is talking about amazing people. Amazing people means people that are inspiring, people that we like them very much. For example, Muhammad Salah is an amazing person because, we love him and we respect him. And also, we want sometimes to be like him, right? So amazing people means أناس رائعين أو ناس إحنا بنحبهم أو معجبين بهم، okay? طيب في هذا الدرس إن شاء الله هنتعلم على نشوف كده الأوبجيكتيف بتاعنا إن شاء الله. The main objective is reading objective. In this lesson, we are going to be able to read an article about people with disabilities or athletes with disabilities. هنتكلم عن الناس اللي هم بنسموهم ذوي الاحتياجات الخاصة أو اللي هم عندهم إعاقة، ولكن طبعا مش أي ناس، الناس اللي هم athletes. Athletes means people who are doing some sports. Okay? طيب, before we start, قبل ما نبدأ, you are going to read the stories of 3 athletes with disabilities. Which sentence describes an athlete with a disability? Discuss your answers in pairs. طبعا المفروض طبعا احنا دلوقتي بنناقش in pairs، ولكن طبعا بسبب الظروف اللي احنا بنسجل فيها طبعا ما فيش فرصة ان احنا نتفاعل in pairs. فيا ريت هديكم حوالي 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds to think about what does it mean an athlete with disabilities. معناها ايه كلمة athletes with disabilities؟ يا ريت كلنا نختار. Try to choose A, B or C. You have 10 seconds. Your time's up. I think most of you gave the answer, and the correct answer is an athlete who has a physical difference that make it difficult to do something. So an athlete with disabilities means the one who has a physical difference or that makes it difficult for him to move and to do something. شخص بيبقى عنده اختلاف جسدي، طبعا ما بيقدرش ان هو يتحرك او يعمل الاشياء الصعبة. ده بسميه طبعا زي ما انتوا عرفتوا من شوية بسميه an athlete with disability. طيب هنبدأ بالvocabulary word time. The first exercise is match the meanings of these words, then check in the dictionary. Now let's start. We have the first word is achieve. Number 2, achievement. Number 3, compete. Number 4, kung fu. Number 5, medal. Number 6, muscle. Number 7, powerlifting. Number 8, wheelchair. So you have some time to check the meanings of these words and try to match. معاكم حوالي 1 minute أو دقيقة هنحاول نوصل الكلمة بمعناها في الكولم B. عندي 2 columns، column A أو column B لو احنا اعتبرناهم 2 columns. هنوصل كل كلمة بمعناها. هديك فرصة 1 minute before I start the answer. Now start. Now it's time. I think the time is up right now. So let's start. Now let's check these words up in a dictionary, and let's start with the first word, which is, please listen carefully. Listen carefully, please.
Achieve.
Yeah, achieve. What does it mean? Achieve means, as you can see, to succeed in finishing something or reaching an aim, especially after a lot of work or effort. So if you try to get your dream, you try to achieve it, you try to get it, so you can achieve it. So achieve means, I think you get the meaning. Yes, it means ينجز أو يحقق in Arabic. Now achieve is a verb, and the noun from achieve is good. Yes, achievement. Achievement is a noun. Let's listen to the word again, please. Achievement. Listen carefully, please, guys.
Achievement.
Yeah, achievement is a noun. It's something very good and difficult that you have succeeded in doing. This is an achievement. So it can be al-ingaz, yes. Number 3 is compete. What does it mean, compete? Now listen carefully first.
Compete.
Compete, that means a verb, of course. That's to try to do or to be more successful than someone or something else. For example, if you are in a race, you try to compete against your partner so that you can win. That's right. So compete means ينافس أو يتنافس. Next one is Kung Fu. Kung Fu. Listen carefully.
Kung Fu.
Yeah, Kung Fu is a Chinese method of fighting that involves using your hands and your feet and not using weapons. It's a kind of sport, of course. So Kung Fu, of course, you know the meaning of Kung Fu. عارف انتوا عارفين طبعا معناها Kung Fu, رياضة Kung Fu. Next one is medal. And the meaning of medal, if you compete in a competition or a race and you win, you can get what? You can get a medal. What does it mean, a medal?
Medal.
A medal is a small metal disc with words or pictures on it. You know, sometimes we can win in a race. Next one is muscle. Muscle. What does it mean, muscle? Let's see. Listen carefully first.
Muscle.
Yeah, muscle is one of the many tissues in your body that can be tightened and relaxed to produce movement. If you don't have muscles, you can't move, you know. So muscle means عضلة or muscles عضلات. Next one is powerlifting. It's a kind of sport, and you can play this sport by lift heavy things up over your head. So this is called powerlifting, which is say رفع الأثقال. And finally we have wheelchair. Finally we have this word.
Wheelchair.
Wheelchair is a chair on wheels that people who are unable to walk use for moving around. If you can't move, you can use this wheelchair. Let's have again a look about the pictures that you can remember these words. So the first word is, remember, achieve. Achieve. You want to achieve your goals. All of us want to achieve our goals to be successful, right? Next word, can you guess? Yeah. What are they doing? These three people are competing against each other. بيتنافسوا. Okay. Next one. Oh, this is a sport. Yeah, sure. This is Kung Fu. Next one. Yeah, this is a medal. And this is muscle. And this sport is powerlifting. Okay. And finally, we have, sorry, what's this one? We have a wheelchair. Now let's start. So, what is the meaning of achieve? The meaning of achieve is to be successful in doing something good. Number 2, achievement. Achievement means, yes, it's something good that you have done successfully. That's right. Number 3, compete. What does it mean, compete? Yes, compete means to take part in a race or a competition. Number 4, Kung Fu. I think it's easy. Yes, Kung Fu is a sport where people lift. No, sorry, it's not that. Kung Fu is, yes, it's a Chinese sport which involves fighting with your hands and feet. This is Kung Fu. It's kind of a sport, Chinese sport. Medal. Medal is a metal disc that you can win when you do or play sport. Muscle. What's the meaning of muscle? Yes, it's something inside your body that you can use to move. Powerlifting. Powerlifting is a sport where people lift weights above their heads. And finally, we have wheelchair. What's a wheelchair? I think it's easy. A wheelchair is a chair with wheels used by someone who can't walk. Okay, now let's continue. Now, number 2. Read about 3 athletes with disabilities and answer these questions. دلوقتي عندنا 3 شخصيات رياضية عندهم زي ما قلنا disability أو إعاقة، وهنبدأ نشوف يا ترى إيه الشيء الشائع بينهم أو إيه الكواليتيز أو الصفات اللي بتميزهم. Number 1 is which 5 sports have they competed in? Of course, they are competing بيتنافسوا في إيه؟ Kung Fu, wheelchair, tennis, and powerlifting, and also basketball and athletics. Athletics is doing a lot of sports, like running and swimming and so on. This is called athletics. Number 2, what have all 3 athletes done? Let's see what they all have done. And number 3, what qualities do these athletes share? إيه هي الصفات اللي هؤلاء الأثليتس بيتشاركوا بيها مع بعض أو they have in common معاهم يعتبروا مشاركين مع بعض في نفس الصفات. Now let's start. The first one is, as you can see, I'll just try to make it bigger for you. So now let's start with Mahmoud Muhammad Yusuf. Mahmoud Muhammad Yusuf was a champion in Kung Fu and won many medals in the sport at secondary school. After a terrible car accident, he now has a disability, which means he has to use a wheelchair. Mahmoud can't walk again, but that he has not stopped his love of sport. He decided to practice a sport which you can play in a wheelchair, and he became very good at wheelchair tennis. He has competed in many international wheelchair tennis competitions and became one of the best wheelchair tennis players in Egypt. That is an amazing achievement. But Mahmoud has not stopped there. He also helps people who are in wheelchairs to stay fit and gives talks to help other people with disabilities. طبعا ملخص الترجمة هو بيقول لي إن محمود دوت كان champion in Kung Fu، كان بطل في Kung Fu، وطبعا he won medals in sport at secondary school وفاز بالميداليات في المرحلة الثانوية من دراسته يعني. وبعد حادثة مروعة أو صعبة جدا أصبح عنده disability اللي معناها إن هو مش هيعرف يمشي تاني. But he has not stopped his love of sport، ولكن حبه للسبورت لم يتوقف. He decided to practice a sport. قرر إن هو طبعا يلعب أو يمارس رياضة which can be played in a wheelchair، إن هو ممكن يقدر أو يستطيع إن هو يلعبها في wheelchair أو كرسي متحرك. وبالفعل أصبح a good wheelchair tennis player، أصبح لاعب تنس ولكن using a wheelchair، باستخدام wheelchair. وطبعا من الرائع إن هو he has competed in many international wheelchair tennis competitions. بالفعل دخل ما شاء الله يعني منافسات عالمية في التنس wheelchair. وطبعا he was one of the best wheelchair tennis player in Egypt، ويعتبر واحد من أفضل لاعيبة الwheelchair tennis في مصر. That is an amazing achievement. طبعا ده زي ما احنا عارفين ده طبعا إنجاز رائع. ولكن محمود لم يتوقف عند هذا، فبقول لي He also helps people who are in wheelchairs to stay fit. بيساعد الناس اللي هي بتستخدم الويل تشير ان هم يحافظوا على لياقتهم وان هم يلعبوا مثلا رياضه. And gives talks to help other people with disabilities. وكمان بيساعد الناس او بيتكلم مع الناس اللي هم عندهم اي نوع من انواع الاعاقه ان هو يساعدهم. ده بالنسبه the first one which is or who is محمود محمد يوسف. Number 2 هنبدأ في number 2 a new athlete who is Amani Ali. Amani Ali is an Egyptian Paralympic powerlifter who won a bronze medal in the 2016 Paralympic Games in Brazil in 2016. Amani had an illness called polio when she was younger, and this affected the muscles in her feet. She did not start powerlifting until she was 20. Although she has always loved the sport, she achieved her Paralympic success in Brazil aged 40, and at a very difficult time. Her father died 2 days before the competition. Her father died 2 days before the competition, so she wanted to win the medal for him. She also came fourth in the London Paralympic Games in 2012. طبعا بيحكي عن أماني علي اللي هي تعتبر لاعبة طبعا مصرية أولمبية، ولكن عندي طبعا هو بيقول لي بارالمبيك، عندي طبعا أولمبيكس أند بارالمبيكس. طبعا الأولمبيكس اللي هي الأولمبيات اللي هي بتاعت الشخص اللي هو العادي، أما البارالمبيكس اللي هو طبعا بتاعت الشخص اللي عنده إعاقة. فطبعا هي كانت رافعة أثقال وطبعا فازت بالميدالية البرونزية زي ما انتم شايفين in 2016. وبيقول لي in the Paralympic Games in Brazil in 2016. في طبعا الأولمبيات اللي حصلت في البرازيل سنة 2016. Amani had an illness، كان عندها مرض اسمه polio اللي هو احنا بنسميه شلل الأطفال. When she was younger and this affected the muscles in her feet. طبعا زي ما انتم عارفين ده أثر على عضلات رجلها، فبالتالي ما قدرتش ان هي تتحرك او تمشي كويس بشكل طبيعي. She did not start powerlifting until she was 20. ما بدأتش رياضة اللي هي رفع الأثقال إلا وكان عندها 20 سنة، بالرغم ان هي حبت الرياضة ديت وبدأت فيها من سن 20 سنة، إلا إن هي she achieved her Paralympic success in Brazil age 40. لم تنجح إلا لما وصلت 40 years، لما وصلت سن 40. واللي كان بصراحة كان وقت صعب جدا عليها، لأن في هذا الوقت her father died 2 days before the competition. أبوها طبعا أو والدها توفي قبل يومين فقط من المسابقة، لذلك هي صممت وكانت حريصة جدا إن هي يعني تحصل ميدال أو تجيب ميدالية for her dad من أجل يعني والدها. لذلك she also came fourth in the London Paralympic Games in 2012. لذلك كمان طلعت الرابعة أو المستوى الرابع في الألعاب اللي هي الأولمبية للمعاقين في لندن سنة 2012. بعد كده عندنا شخصية ثالثة Tanni Grey-Thompson. Tanni Grey-Thompson is a British Paralympian wheelchair racer who has a medical condition called spina bifida. She is unable to walk, so she uses a wheelchair to get around. Tanni first competed in the 400 meters and wheelchair basketball at the Paralympics in Seoul in 1988. Tanni won 16 Paralympic medals in athletics events from the 100 meters up to the 800 meters, including 11 gold medals. Since she retired from athletics in 2004, Tanni has worked for many different organizations which help people, especially disabled people and women, to enjoy the benefits of sports. طبعا بيتكلم على شخصيه طبعا ثالثه اللي هي تاني جري تومسون. بيقول ان هي طبعا بريتش، ان هي بريطانيه، وطبعا هي بارالمبيان برضه يعني بطله، ولكن في العاب زي ما قلنا ان بارالمبيان خاص بالناس المعاقين. لعبت برضه طبعا كريسر كمتسابق او ك منافسه متسابقه في بالرغم ان هي كان عندها ميديكال كونديشن، حاله صحيه اللي بيسموها سباينا بيفيدا. وسباينا بيفيدا دي حاله مرضيه بتحصل as you can see in these pictures. I'll show you. This is spina bifida. When you have some cuts at your back, this can affect your muscles. لو شخص عنده لا قدر الله شيء في زي فتح في الظهر، ده بيكون زي نوع من انواع المرض، فبيأثر على عضلات بتاعته، فبالتالي ما بيعرفش يتحرك، فده بيسميها سباينا بيفيدا. وطبعا احنا خدنا من شويه الكلمه الثانيه اللي هي كان اسمها بوليو، لو انتم فاكرين، اللي هو شلل الاطفال. طبعا دول المرضين اللي ممكن يأثروا على الشخص ان هو ما ينفعش ان هو يتحرك، فبالتالي بيضطر ان هو يستخدم ويل تشير، نسأل الله العفو والعافيه. اوكي طيب هنكمل. فطبعا بيقول لي ان هي بسبب السباينا بيفيدا she is unable to walk، لم تستطيع انها تتحرك، and she used a wheelchair to get around، بدأت تستخدم الويل تشير زي ما انتم عارفين. وبدأت في المنافسات she competed in the 400 meters، بدأت باستخدام اللي هو السباق بتاعها اللي هو 400 متر، وبعد كده زي ما انتم عارفين فازت ب وطبعا كمان لعبت الويل تشير باسكت بول، كمان لعبت كمان في الأولمبياد باسكت بول في سول سنة 1988. كمان تاني فازت ب 16 ميدالية في الأثليتكس، الألعاب الرياضية، اللي هي كانت بداية من 100 متر لحد 800 متر. وطبعا من ضمن هؤلاء الميدالز كان بيقول ان هو من ضمنهم 11 gold medals، 11 ميدالية ذهبية. Since she retired، منذ أن بدأت أن هي تتقاعد from الأثليتكس من الألعاب الرياضية. طبعا that means retired، that means she stopped doing these sports. That was in 2004. تاني بدأت تشتغل في مؤسسات مختلفة، اللي من ضمنها انها طبعا تساعد الناس المعاقة سواء رجالة او حريم ان هم يستمتعوا بفوائد الرياضة او the benefits of sports. كده اعتقد احنا خدنا ملخص كويس للثلاث شخصيات، وهنبدأ نرجع تاني كده بسرعة لأسئلتنا اللي هي what have all the three athletes done? What do you think? I think these three people have already won medals. They have already participated in Paralympian Games or Paralympic Games, yes, and also they have competed and won medals. دول الثلاث شخصيات عملوها، يعني لعبوا رياضة وفازوا ببعض الميداليات. And also the three people had disabilities and very hardships. طبعا كان عندهم إعاقة وكان عندهم ظروف صعبة جدا. طيب number 3 بيقول لي what qualities do these athletes share؟ ايه هي الصفات او الحاجات الثلاث دول الثلاث اشخاص دول بيتشاركوا فيهم مع بعض. طبعا لو انتم شايفين I think that، طبعا لما اجي اجاوب ممكن اقول I think، اعتقد ان طبعا انا بعبر عن رايي، it's an open-ended question، فممكن اقول I think these three people had some good qualities or have some good qualities like they are hardworking, they are confident, they are consistent, they are enthusiastic. طبعا ببدأ أجيب صفات بتدل إن هم كانوا مثابرين، كانوا بيشتغلوا يعني باجتهاد جدا، مجتهدين، مصممين أو determined، عازمين على إن هم determined to succeed in something، إن هم ينجحوا في شيء معين. لأن طبعا النجاح محتاج صفات معينة زي ما انتم عارفين، الإصرار والعزيمة والقوة وهكذا. طيب ننتقل إلى تمرين رقم 3 number 3 which is read about the athletes again and answer these questions. Which athletes عايزين نعرف which athlete helps disabled people to stay fit. طبعا this one is done for you، دي معمولة already، اللي هو محمد يوسف. number 2 which one is first competed in the Paralympics in 1988. We have to choose، لازم نختار من الثلاثة أنه واحد فيهم first competed in the Paralympic Games in 1988. لو رجعنا كده للنص هنلاقي okay شايفين yes. So the first one is yes Tani Gray Thompson. Tani Gray Thompson competed in Seoul in 1988. So the answer here يبقى هنا الإجابة هتكون تاني. Okay. طيب next one. Which have been very good at more than one sport. Which have been very good at more than one sport. It's also it's not just one sport, it's more than one sport. لو رجعنا هنشوف مين اللي لعب اكتر من one sport. لو خدنا بالنا هنشوف ان تاني كانت في الاول بتلعب ايه. She was a wheelchair racer and also she was a wheelchair basketball. لعبت اكتر من لعبه، يبقى عندي معايا الثاني. وكمان لو رجعنا الى if we get back to Mahmoud, look at Mahmoud Yusuf. He was a champion in Kung Fu, and after his disability he became a wheelchair tennis player, as you can see. يبقى الإجابة هنا عندي the answer is Mahmoud and Tani. So who have been very good at more than one sport? We can say they are Mahmoud and Tani. Next one, who use a chair? I think is quite easy. I think all of them, right? Because they are disabled people, and disabled people use this kind of things. Who can lift very heavy things? Let's look. Who can carry heavy things? I think that's quite easy. It's Amani Ali, because she is a power lifter. She can lift weights. So this is Amani. Now, who was successful at an older age? If we can get back again to Amani, look, she achieved her Paralympic success in Brazil aged 40. So again, Amani was the one who succeeded in a very old age, which was 40 years old. Which one have helped other people with disabilities? Let's have here a look. We'll see that, yes, can you see it's Tani? Here he says especially disabled people and women to enjoy the benefits of life. Tani has worked for many different organizations which help people. So Tani helped people with disabilities. And also, as you can see, and gives talk to help other people with disabilities. Who also can help? It's also Mahmoud. So the answer is Mahmoud and Tani. Here again, we can just write Mahmoud and Tani. Number 8, who has competed in 2 Paralympic Games? 2 Paralympic Games. If we can get back, we can see that Amani competed in 2016 in Paralympic Games in Brazil, and also she competed in London Paralympic Games in 2012. So it's Amani. So she competed in more than 1 Paralympic Games. Now the speaking part, which is discuss these questions in pairs. ده جزء طبعا خاص بالspeaking. يا ريت نحاول نتكلم. Which of the 3 achievements do you find the most amazing and why? How much an impact تأثيره عليك أو you think these 3 athletes have had on disabled people in their countries? يا ترى تأثير الناس دي على الناس اللي هي مواقعة في أي دولة أو في دولتك. What positive effect can their success have on the life of disabled people in the countries? ايه هي الاشياء الايجابيه اللي ممكن ياثروا عليها على الناس اللي عايشه في دولتك؟ طبعا الاجابه عشان نتدرب على السبيكنج المفروض ان احنا هنبدا زي ما هو مدين كان مثال بيقول لي I think that Amani Ali is amazing because she did not start her sport until she was 20. طبعا ده رايه، فطبعا احنا ممكن نبدا نحاول نمارس مع بعضنا. فممكن نقول مثلا، هقول مثلا I think Mani Ali was an amazing person because although her dad died just 2 days before the competition, she came fourth in the London Paralympic Games. واحد تاني ممكن يقول لي I think that Tani Gray Thomason is an outstanding person and athlete because she got 11 gold medals. طب عند رأي. واحد تاني برضه ممكن يقول لي no, I think in my opinion or as far as I'm concerned, as I think that Mahmoud Yusuf is a great champion because he was a champion in Kung Fu and also he was a wheelchair tennis player. اوكي. وطبعا ده خاص بالسبيكينج. يا ريت نحاول نعمل امثله زي اللي انا عملتها من شويه بحيث نتدرب على هذه الامثله. طيب ندخل على نمبر 5. طبعا نمبر 5 عباره عن research successful disabled people. Choose one person to do a project about. هنا مدينا بعض الشخصيات اللي انا ممكن هعمل عليها بحث. انتوا حضراتكم دلوقتي تخشوا على الانترنت وتكتبوا اي اسم هؤلاء الناس ونبدا نشوف او نكتب مشروع عنه عشان نتكلم ونكتب عنه يا ترى الشخص دوت عمل ايه بالظبط. طبعا اعتقد انتوا اوريدي عندكم بعض المعلومات عن واحد منهم اللي هو طه حسين. طبعا he was blind at a very young age and he went to a university in France and he was very popular writer. فطبعا ممكن نبدا نشوف ايه هو اللي حصل له بالظبط والاعاقات اللي هو عملها وطبعا الاتشيفمنت اللي هو حققها. بعد كده بيقول لي في هنا عندي project او مشروع المفروض ان find out more information about the person you choose. ده بقى وظيفتكم انتوا او التاسك اللي انتوا هتعملوها. هندخل على الانترنت ونختار واحد من الشخصيات اللي احنا اخترناها من شويه ونبحث عنه ونبدا نجاوب على الاسئله اللي هي جايه. ايه هي الاسئله؟ هنكتب اول حاجه what's the person's name؟ ايه هو الشخص اسمه؟ what's his or her disability؟ اعاقته ايه هي؟ where is he from or she from؟ منين؟ what's his job or her job؟ ايه هي وظيفته او وظيفتها؟ what is her or her greatest achievement؟ ايه الانجاز اللي هو عمله او اللي هي عملته؟ and how does it inspire people؟ وازاي دوت بيلهم الناس او بيخلي الناس بتحب الشخص دوت او تحاول ان هي تكون زيه. طبعا ده work in groups المفروض نبدا نعمل نفس الكلام ونبدا نقدم اللي احنا عرضناه. فطبعا يا ريت ممكن كل واحد يبدا يكتب المعلومات ديت ويبدا يعني يحاول يعمل presentation. لو كل مثلا بيذاكروا مع بعض ممكن يبداوا يعني يقدموا presentation مع بعض او لو انت لوحدك ممكن مفيش اي مشكله تحاول يعني تقدم لنفسك مفيش اي مشكله. Now let's go to here workbook page 114. نبدأ نطبق بعض التمارين صفحة 114. Lesson 1 as you can see amazing people. عندي أول حاجة تمرين على vocabulary. Complete the text with these words. هنكمل بالكلمات اللي عندها. طبعا كتير حضراتكم فاكرين الكلمات ديت achieve, compete, disability, medals, muscles and wheelchairs. نبدأ. بقول wheelchairs tennis. Some amazing athletes compete in different sports even when they have even when they have what? Yes, they have this ability. Even when they have a disability, they can compete. For example, some play tennis in what? Yes, some play tennis in wheelchairs. The playing area is the same as for other tennis competitions, but the players need to have strong in their arms to move around and to hit the ball. They need what? To move. What do we need to move? We need muscles. The best player entered the Paralympic Games, but few as much success as Ethan Vergeer, who is from the Netherlands. But few what? Yes, few achieve as much success as Ethan Vergeer, who is from the Netherlands, in Hollanda. She won for gold. Gold what? She won for gold what? Yes, gold medals between 2000 and 2012. Number 2. Are these sentences true or false? Correct the false sentence. The first one. People who cannot walk cannot do sports. Okay, that's right. No, of course. People who cannot walk, they can do sports in wheelchairs. So this is false. The playing area for the wheelchair tennis is different. Is that right? Yes, that's also false. Because the playing area is not different. The playing area is the same. Look here. This is the answer. We can highlight this one. We can highlight. The playing area is, can you see? Is the same. So it's not different. It's not different. Number 3. People need strong arms to play wheelchair tennis. What do you think? Yes, they do, because as you can see, players need what? Strong muscles. That means strong muscles in their arms. So that is correct. So let's write this. This is true. Next one. It's easy to get a place at the Paralympic Games. Is that easy? To just get a place at the Paralympic Games? No, of course. Yes, that is not true. It's false. Because as you can see here, he said the players enter the Paralympic Games, but few achieve as much success as Eva Vergier. So it's not everyone that can achieve this success. Eva Vergier was very successful. Is that right? Was she successful? Of course, she was successful because she won 4 gold medals, and of course this is a great success. Next exercise. Many sports ending in ing and the name of the person who does a sport ends in er. Complete these sentences with the correct form of the verb in brackets. بيقول لي ان طبعا عندنا احيانا الكلمه بتنتهي ب ing او er. لو بتنتهي ب ing ده طبعا بتكون عايده على اسم الرياضه نفسها. لو بتنتهي ب er ده طبعا عايده على اسم البيرسون او الشخص اللي هو نفسه. على سبيل المثال مثلا كلمه playing football يبقى لعبة كرة القدم. طيب اللاعب نفسه اسمه player يبقى اللعبة اسمها playing واللاعب اسمه player. تمام. طيب نبدأ نشوف كده بعض الحاجات دي هنا. فهنا بقول لي many Olympic sports have always been part of the modern games such as cycling, it's a sport, and swim, and what? And yes, that's right, and swimming. Some of the most famous Olympians are what? Are runners. Yes, very good. Runners means the person who can run, the athlete who run, such as Usain Bolt and Mo Farah. New sports are sometimes added to the games. For example, windsurf is the name of a sport. So it's wind what? It's wind surfing. That's right. Windsurf. What is windsurfing? I'll show you a picture. I think I have a picture right here about windsurfing. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's have a look here. Okay, we can just look at the internet, windsurfing, to show you the picture of this one, which is windsurfing. Until it loads, we can just continue. This is a snowboard or snowboarding. Yes, as you can see, this is windsurfing. Yes, okay, got it? So windsurfing. Let's get back. So windsurfing became an Olympic sport in 1984, and snowboard, and snowboarding. And snowboarding in 1989. Other sports are not part of the Olympic Games. For example, powerlifting. That means that great Egyptian powerlift, like Sharif Othman. Who is Sharif Othman? He is a what? Yes, he's a power lifter. That means that great Egyptian powerlifters like Sharif Othman can only compete in the Paralympics. The last exercise, آخر طبعا تمرين معانا, قولي write a paragraph about a successful disabled person you searched for you and your group who has achieved success despite many difficulties. طبعا ده نفس التمرين اللي احنا خدناه في الستودنتس بوك اللي هو دوت. بعد طبعا ما احنا بحثنا عن الشخص اللي احنا هنكتب عنه، يا ريت نكتب باراجراف صغير عنه بيتكلم عن هذا الشخص. هنكتب طبعا giving some more details اللي هو هنكتب عن اسمه، ايه هي الديسابيلتيز اللي هي حصلت له، هو منين ووظيفته، وطبعا ايه هي الاتشيفمنت اللي هو عملها، وليه هو طبعا بيعمل inspiration او inspire people. اوكي، وبكده نكون الحمد لله انتهينا من انتهاء الفصل او انتهاء الفصل الاول او lesson 1 من الوحده unit 11.